Hello everyone, this is In-Game Mars. We'll do another unboxing of the breakdown of the demo. This is Mass Effect Andromeda. This is pretty much not like a sequel, but more of a reboot, restart of the series. It's not like trying to restart from it, but it's definitely trying to spread out in a different direction for the series and trying to leave what happened from the trilogy and the original first 3 Mass Effect games to the side. But they'll bring it up a few times in the game. Moving on from that, I did have to update the game, and the gameplay you see here is updated. From what you've heard of bugs and stuff like that, it's very true and very accurate. The game is pretty much a disaster as a functional game. I had the game crash on me 3 times, and I was not even in about 3 to 4 hours into the game. And I was worried that for me trying to get the recording of footages and stuff like that, me just trying to complete the game, and just also the fear of this weighing down on my console, constantly crashing and breaking. And I know for a fact that it's hard on console, so I just decided to update the game and just show the footage of that. Moving on, there is a redeem code available down in the description. It's a pre-order kind of bonus thing. I don't know what it offers or what it does, but you guys can have it. Who gets it first, it's yours. Moving on, this is to the Mass Effect game. There has been a lot of controversy over this game. It's kind of like a love it, you hate it kind of scenario. I'll be perfectly frank with you. Mass Effect Andromeda is not a bad game. It's not a bad game. I want to make that very clear, as a lot of people try to make it out to sound like it is. It has its moments, it has its potential, and it can go pretty good at certain moments, but there's just constantly something or some bad decision, some reason they chose for some design, and it just really hindered the experience. And now I'm speaking personally for myself now, but moving on from the animation of the faces and graphical bugs and stuff like that, yes, some of it's pretty bad and some of them are very awkward. Some of the dialogue conversations are very awkward at times. Most of the flirting options are all very awkward, as well as the script writing is very weird. And it's just, there's several things. It just made you wonder what could have happened from the 3 Mass Effects you just made and then to this, what happened to cause such a completely a restart of how you would properly make it. I mean, this is Mass Effect 4. This is pretty much, we got everything pretty much down. But it just seems like they did a whole restart. On top of that, this game you go to a whole new galaxy, but it really doesn't feel like you're at a new galaxy the entire time you're there. Personally, for myself, yes, there was a few anomalies and few weird things that happens here and there, but come on, space is just one of those things that's completely unexplainable. There's so much potential for them to be able to go crazy with it, and they felt like they just, I don't know, just carbon copied the Milky Way, and it just felt like there was no creativity, no explanation, no reaching new heights, and just completely bringing up things, even if it's completely theorized, or you don't have 100% proof this is how it could work. You're in a whole new galaxy. You have no idea what could be happening there. But they didn't do much with it, and it was very disappointing. As well as the one thing that really hinders the game for me a lot is the scanner arm you have in your arm. You got to scan stuff, and pretty much the entire time you're going to be walking around with a scanner trying to scan everything like that, and trying to I know why they did it, to make it feel like since you're an explorer, you're scanning stuff and trying to get data information on it. And I can see how it'd be cool, but it kind of just got it to a point where I kept forgetting to do it, or it just kind of annoying because I constantly had to have my hand up doing this scanner effect thing, and it just got really, really dull and boring really quickly. As well as exploring the galaxy and going, the sector, the cluster that you're at. It's not the entire galaxy that you're at where you're exploring. You're just exploring a little cluster. But now it just felt very mainstream and very, very boring and dull. I'm one of those weird people who personally really like probing the planets and going to each planet and scan it, look for anomaly, but then shooting probes and mine it. I personally actually had that really, really fun. I actually really enjoyed that. But now you just kind of fly to a planet, hope to God there's some anomaly there for you to be even reason to fly to this planet, and there you go, there's an anomaly, there you go, and then usually it's nothing, you just come kind of resource. While in the past, you at least can shoot up, constantly explore and probe the planet, and some planets had characteristics. This one has a lot of element 0, this one has some more iron or bronze, then so on and so forth. It just gave each planet its own characteristic. I really enjoyed the probing. They got rid of that. But what they did in exchange was, now when you explore the surface of the planet with your nomad and all that stuff, now you slow down a mining thing that mines everything. This was more annoying to me the land exploring on the ground. This was just like an open world game. You're constantly exploring the world. You're constantly driving, going, run around and stuff like that. This was very, very boring and just completely made it hard for me to continue the game. I'm trying to struggle as much as I am to play it and beat it. Yes, I have not beat it. I don't even know if I'll be able to continue with this game. I'm struggling to keep with it because the story is not very ultimately interesting. Nothing really pushes me forward. The main character Ryder, there's no connection with him. And then I usually play the same kind of character. I always name him Jason, and I always named Jason Shepard. He's just always the same character, and he's an engineer. And I did it with this one because the character creation in this game is very limited, and it's even worse than the first Mass Effect game. I even thought it was a little odd that there was not a white skin coloring for your character, which is, I know a lot of people put this as a big deal, and it's kind of make it a bigger deal than what it is. I did think it was a little odd, but I always played as a Black Shepherd. I always thought it looked the character better. I always enjoyed playing a Black Shepherd. I don't know, I just felt like it fit the role better. I always liked it more. But I always played the engineer class too, and what you're seeing here is the combat. I always play on the highest difficulties on most of every game, and this is on Insanity difficulty. And from my experience, you might want to recommend putting the game on Insanity or Hard mode, because it does seem like the game could be pretty easy if you don't have no challenge, and the AI could be pretty dumb if you don't have no challenge either. As well as, like I said, the bugs and everything like that, that's going to hinder your experience as well. Now, the combat is very good and very fluid. Now, it's not really pushing it forward. Lots of people get on and saying about it's good. It's what I expect from a combat game. It's not really pushing in the envelope of better combat, but at least it's more refined in this one. It's not game break, or not game breaking, but or game revolutionary or anything like that. But moving on from that, there's the weapon crafting system, armor crafting system. That I didn't even like that system either. It's a good idea, but it just implemented in a very, very poor way. And that's pretty much how to describe all of Mass Effect Andromeda, is that everything seems like an interesting and good idea, but they did it in the worst possible way ever. And then also, every time you could have had something interesting happen, they did it with the very poorest way as well. It's like they had this idea, and they didn't go all the way with it. And as well as it felt like there was a lot of things they were trying to do or going to go with, but they just bailed on it, or it just seemed like it was really, I don't know, for the fourth game, as well as being from BioWare, this is pretty like Mass Effect 1 level stuff here. Now, again, I personally really enjoyed the original trilogy, and I really enjoyed the Nomad in the first one, and I personally felt that the Nomad drove better than it did in this one, and Andromeda. Now, a lot of people are going to find that confusing, because I've heard a lot of people say they hated the Nomad, or the vehicle here, in the first one. I personally had no problem driving it. I personally did not like driving it in this one. But then again, I don't like the exploration of the world and stuff like that. I miss the planet probing, and I don't know, it's not a bad game, but it's nowhere near as good as it should have been, especially from BioWare. As I said, it does everything subpar. It's not that it's a bad game, it's just like, how to say this, is that it's not a step forward, but it's not a step back. It's just like they could have done better. And there's going to be a humongous amount of updates this game's going to be getting. So I can't even tell you what the updates you saw in the beginning of the video. I can't even tell you how much it's going to build up from there. I don't even give you a number because it's just going to keep bigger, because there's a lot of problems with the game. It's all in all, I can't really recommend it. Unless you're a really hard Mass Effect fan, you're going to get some enjoyment out of it. But if all in all, you might as just wait for the price drop, or maybe wait for EA might be smart and do a special re-release of the game with all the patches and maybe DLC. I don't see that happening because EA has been kind of a jerk on that concept, but they've done it a few times, but they had all the DLC and updates on the disc, so might want to wait for that one. I don't see that one getting it because just how poorly it's been received and how people are treating it. Now, there's lots of complaints and stuff like that, and people are exaggerating stuff, and as I said, it's an okay game. You're going to get some fun out of it, but it's going to make you more or less want to play the original trilogy than actually play this one. And that's how I really felt, and I really am trying to struggle to complete this game, and I don't know if I'll ever beat it, so that's why I'm making this video. So, I know that's why I said these videos are not really reviews. Only people who completed the game and done all this stuff should review games. This is just a simple demo, is showing you what the game offers and stuff, and it's my personal experience with the game. And I don't know if I'll beat it. Like I said, hopefully maybe they'll fix it in the second one, and I might shrug it through it for the second one if they fix it a lot, but I don't know. So, like always, I will leave links down in the description if you're interested in the copy. I just recommend to wait for the price to drop. It's my opinion on that one. But if this looks like something you enjoy, who am I to stop you? So, thank you all for watching. Hit that like, subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!